Hello everybody, I'm back. So today I'm gonna show some stuff I bought on my trip and some of the art I did while on my trip, and we'll do a bit of a little giveaway at the end and show you what I've been up to, and then hopefully we'll have time to play probably on the gel plate. I have an idea, I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but we'll see how it goes. So if you're watching the replay, you can just zoom to where you want to start at, and I can see that my lag has finished, so now I can see people in chat. Hi Keeks, hi Dee Dee, hi again. Thank you, it's good to be home. It's nice to go on vacation, but it's really nice to come home as well. And my sons did a great job taking care of Lucy. Hi Bruja, welcome, welcome. Hey Dar. Hi, Ann Lar. Thank you for holding down the fort while I was gone. Hi, Lucretia. Hi, Patty. And I always forget at the end of my stream, but thank you, mods, very much for all your help, especially Dar and any other mods that come in, like Anne and Janet. And I've got a few different mods. I can't remember who all, but when they come in, I know I can see their little blue wrenches. So there's no snow left, which is nice. It's nice to leave with snow, and actually while we were gone it snowed, but it's good to come home and there be no snow. So let's start with, I'll do my sketchbook after. Let's start with Amsterdam. Actually, I'll show you one thing in my sketchbook, because this is sort of my itinerary that we followed. So I did a bit of collage in my sketchbook. Oh, I thought I put it there. Oh, I put it here. So in Amsterdam, we flew to Amsterdam, and then we did a cruise. We were in Amsterdam for 3 days, and then, oh, my chat stopped. Okay. Hi, Missy. We did a cruise. So we went from Rotterdam. We had 2 days, 3 days at sea, then went to Morocco, went to Agadir, Morocco. Then we went to 3 Canary Islands, Arrecife, Lanzarote, Las Palmas, Gran Canary, and Santa Cruz, Tenerife. So the islands are Lanzarote, Gran Canary, and Tenerife. And then we had another day at sea. Then we went up to Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal, and then a couple days at sea, went to Dover, England. And then the next day we landed in Rotterdam and we flew home. So this is a bit of a hint of some of the supplies I bought. So I'll come back to that in a minute. Come back to the sketchbook in a minute. So it's just sort of a good review of where we're going. Hey, Chris. Yes, well, have fun marking all those exams. So the first thing, let's do Amsterdam first. So we went to an art store. The art store we went to was, I think it was called, oh shoot, it's escaping me, Vanderlind, I think. And it was recommended to me by Paula Keen. We were hoping to meet up, but we weren't able to just because, just with some stuff going on in her personal life. So unfortunately, we didn't get to meet in person, but she made a good recommendation. So at the store, the 2 things, I think I only bought 2 things. One was these Caran d'Ache Pablos. I bought a set of 30. I've never tried Pablo colored pencils, and out of a lot of the European products, this one was actually quite a bit less expensive in Amsterdam than it would be at home in Canada. So I've used these a little bit. They're not quite as creamy as Prismas. I'm not sure if I love them, but it's fun to have them. They're hexagonal, which is kind of cool. And they're not water reactive. They're just colored pencils. So I thought this was a nice range. I especially like that there's like this sort of, what's this called? Jade green. That's a good color. And so I used them a little bit. I'll show that in a bit. And then this is the swatch. Hi, Diane. Hi, Teresa. It was a wonderful trip. And you know what? I like the days at sea because it gave me time to do some art and relax and have fun. Hi, Barbie. Because when we landed somewhere, it was like go, go, go. We kind of did a lot. So that's the swatching. So this was not an inexpensive set. I like the tin. I'm probably going to leave it in the tin unless I end up adding to it. And then the other thing I bought was the Faber-Castell. I bought a set of 12 Albert Dürer watercolor pencils. I didn't find these were much less expensive than they were in Canada. So I just bought a small set and I did use them. They're very nice. They're also hexagonal as well, which is nice. They don't roll away. So I used these a little bit on vacation. And sorry, I did catch a cold the last couple days of the cruise. So my nose is still running a little bit. Let me just grab a tissue. Sorry about that. I'm not taking medication anymore because I'm almost better. Hi, Vanessa. So this was the bag that I got from the art store, and I thought it was kind of cool. It had some cool art supplies. That might be good to use in my scavenger hunt journal. But probably what I'll do is I will cut. We're also going to be doing a giveaway today, so I'm going to cut this apart, and I'll probably throw some of this into. Maybe I'll cut this one here to get everything. Sorry, it's going to be noisy today. Lots of bags and stuff. Whoops. All right. So I will keep this for my scavenger hunt journal for next year. And this we will deconstruct further. I'm going to do a giveaway pile as we go and while people are coming in. Hi, Carol. Hi, Jane. If I miss saying hello to you, it's not on purpose. So let's cut this into a few pieces. Creativity is not an option, it is essential. Just gonna, whoop, almost cut that pencil. And then we'll take this off. All right, so I'm just gonna make a pile for giveaway, and then some might get given away today, some might be another day. Just depends how big the piles get. I don't have that many things to show. I didn't go super crazy. Like I said, we were pretty busy. I did shopping in Amsterdam, and a little bit in other places, but like I said, it was pretty hurried. And we'll cut that down. I apologize for any sniffling. So I'm going to put that in a giveaway pile over to my right here. Okay. And then when we were in Amsterdam, we got there at like 6 in the morning and we didn't get to check into our hotel for a while. So we went for breakfast. We went to the Anne Frank house. I'd bought tickets ahead of time. We went through the red light district, went to the art store. The next day we went to the Van Gogh Museum, and this was the bag that I got from that store. Success is sometimes the outcome of a whole string of failures. That's a good quote. Hi, Christina. And one of the things I bought at the Van Gogh Museum, it was a beautiful exhibit. I won't show you pictures of the exhibit because a lot of them are in this book. We'll do a quick flip through. So I bought these watercolor postcards. So I don't think I'll give any of these away. It's probably hard to see that even. It's very, very faint. So I'll see how those go. And then another day I might give away a few of those. We'll see. So I'm not sure about that. And then I bought these postcards for my house. I think I'm gonna get a little stand that I can like kind of alternate what's displayed. So those were my three favorite pieces. This was the almond blossom, the sunflowers, which I saw in person. I saw all of these in person, and the irises. So it was a very beautiful exhibit. I also bought this fun little pencil, Van Gogh Museum, and it's got the primary colors on it, which is, I've got other pencils like this, but I don't think I have one with just 4 primary colors like that. So you can sort of fun for abstract sketching, for grid journaling. That's going to be fun. So I'm going to put that in my little holder there. Hi, Linda. Hey, Jolu. And then that's a little bag. I don't know if I'll keep that. It's not going in the giveaway pile though. That's just, yeah. I also found these stickers. And so we'll give away some of these. So some Van Gogh stickers. So there's 2 of each set. So I'll probably cut some of those up to give away. So give away some of that. I should probably show you up close what they look like. So that's the stickers. And then these are kind of cool. I don't know if I'll give all of these away today, but whoops. I might keep some to give to my family and friends. Those. Let me know if you want me to slow down with anything. I didn't realize that Van Gogh was very inspired by Japanese art and Japanese. He had a huge collection of Japanese prints, and some of his work was sort of not copies, but very inspired by Japanese art. So that's one of his paintings. And then I'll just probably keep those ones. So we've got that. So this book, it's specific to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, and I've started reading it. And basically it goes through the whole exhibit. It's a beautiful coffee table book. If I would try to buy something like this in Canada, it'd probably be $50 or more. But it was really reasonably priced. I think it was 20 euros, which I thought was a very good deal. So for example, this is one of the prints that he had in his collection. In the exhibit, they also had artwork by other artists, and it's all about his life. It was very touching. Hi, Adria. Hi, Gina. Hi, Judy. And, you know, the whole, you know, his mental health, and he was very close with his brother, and his brother's wife and her son, who they named Vincent, ended up, actually his brother only died like within a year of Vincent dying, and his brother's wife and her son really set up the Van Gogh, what do you call it, like foundation. And she didn't share his story until his art got more popular. So I saw all these pieces in the museum. Most of them were quite large. And then he, you know, was influenced by other artists. He was a good friend with, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, not Matisse. I'm sure it'll come up here. I can't think of it. He moved to Paris for a while. His brother was an art dealer and was very supportive of Van Gogh, of Vincent. This is one of my favorite pieces. I love that. So I hope you guys enjoy this little flip through. This is basically the exhibit. Some of these pieces in person were absolutely stunning. Like this one, I remember that one was stunning. I don't know, I haven't looked through this whole book, so I don't know if they, like I said, in the exhibit, they had a lot of paintings from his friends. Hi, Apple. So this is that Japanese, the one that was, Van Gogh found the image of the striking woman on the cover of the magazine Paris Illustré, which devoted a special issue to the theme of Japan. Her pose, turning to look over her shoulder in a decorative kimono, must have struck him as unusual. He bored the image, enlarged it, and he made his own painting. So the tulip fields. We went to Zant's. I have pictures of that I'm going to show you guys. Maybe, yeah, it could have been Matisse. I'm sure it's going to say here. Oh, Gauguin. I think he was friends. He was good friends with Paul Gauguin. I think was one of his good friends. Maybe Matisse as well. I can't remember. But so I didn't know. I knew a little bit about Van Gogh. I didn't know, all the variety he did. He was very prolific. This was a very cool painting, as was this. Well, they all were cool. Gauguin's chair. So they sort of stayed together for a while. They had a big falling out. And there's a big portion of the exhibit. So here's Paul Gauguin's self-portrait. I think he asked his friends to give him self-portraits of themselves. This is Van Gogh painting Gauguin, and this is Gauguin painting himself. And then self-portrait of Emile. Self-portrait of Charles Laval. So anyways, they hung out. He had friends. It was nice he had friends. And then when he was in the asylum, he still painted when he was able to. So this is inside the asylum, in the gardens of the hospital. So it was very touching. I got a little emotional at the museum, in the shop actually. This was gorgeous. This was a huge wall. Hi Sherry, hi Ellen. And yeah, so that was the Van Gogh Museum. They also have Van Gogh Experience, which is more like the lights and stuff, but we just went to the Van Gogh Museum. We didn't have time to go to the other museum. Well, there's other museums in Amsterdam, but this is the only one we went to. So, and then these are who he inspired. So Toulouse-Lautrec, Seurat, etc., etc. So, and they had these paintings in the exhibit as well. I remember seeing those. And then they had a big section about his brother and his brother's wife and her son Vincent. And the nephew founded the museum, so little Vincent. Apple says the almond blossoms is her favorite. Hi, Kathy. So I also took pictures of other people's. There was like some other artists' original works in the museum that I took pictures of. I can't think of their names offhand. So that was my trip to the Van Gogh Museum. Walking around Amsterdam, they have the blue Delft china, which is very popular. So I bought some napkins. What else is in here? Oh, this was a napkin from a restaurant that I used in my little collage here. So I used the napkins to do sort of my title page for this trip. So I collaged the napkins. This was from the KLM. We flew KLM, and that was from a KLM napkin. And that was from the restaurant here. So we'll put that in the giveaway pile. Put the string here so I don't lose my spot. So I think this is the one I used. Yeah, I used that one, so we won't give that one away. But we'll put a few in the giveaway pile. So we'll probably do 4 giveaways. So I'll put 4 in there. And I'll probably take the backings off so it's not so thick. So it's one of my favorite blues. I love that blue. Okay, what next? Oh, and then Flying KLM, I also got these little envelopes, which are super cute. Aren't they pretty? I should probably zoom in a little bit here. Let me zoom in. Zoom, zoom. Okay, so put that in the giveaway section. Excuse my sniffling. I'll probably keep these because I only have 4, but I'll keep those for myself. Sorry. And then went to a bookstore. And look at that cute bag from the bookstore. Look at that. It's just Island book. And I found, what was that? I found a Flow magazine, which they're expensive here. I don't know if this was less. This was 20 euros. Actually, the Van Gogh book might have been like 26 euros. I can't remember. But I found this at the bookstore. And I don't know, Dee Dee, do you have this one? Have you shown this one before? I have to say, though, that I also went to a store in the airport when we were leaving, and I thought, oh, it's another Flow book. I'll buy that. And I actually bought the same one twice. So this is my extra copy. So this will get deconstructed, given to like my sister and my sister-in-law, and I'll send some pages. I'll deconstruct this one and do some giveaways as well. Some stickers. Maybe we can put these in the giveaway. Oh, you don't have this one, Dee Dee? Okay, maybe I'll send you a couple pages from it too. So I don't know, do you guys want a full flip through of this magazine, or maybe I could leave it to, oh, the doggy's so cute on the back. Maybe I can leave it to when we're arting and some stuff's drying. So let's cut this in 4. There's one. I'll try to preserve the dog. There's 2. And then do that. They're not quite even, but we'll put these in the giveaway. Did you guys want to flip through, or maybe I'll just do a quick little flippy flip. So it's very inspiring. I think I have one other Flow magazine, or Flow. This is like the Paper Lovers book. This is like Spot the Differences. And then this one has like a grid where you put the stickers on. And in my other copy, I actually did this when we were sitting at the airport waiting to fly home. Some mazes, some more stickers, letters to yourself, some wrapping paper. Let's see, maybe we can. So I'll deconstruct this, and like I said, I'll give some to my family and friends at home, and then I will also share some with you guys. Here's some coloring postcards. It's okay to start over and over and over. So this is a mini flip. Another coloring page. I like that. Those are fun. And then this is a swatch book, because I opened the other one. My Day in Color. So it says, capture the moments you cherish in color swatches. Not only is it a lovely way to preserve memories, it's also the perfect warm-up to get you in a creative mood. So I guess the idea is you take your day and you swatch out colors from your day. Or you could just use this as a swatch book, maybe some color combos. This looks textured, but it's not, it's just flat. Take this out. So, I don't know why I thought it was a different book. I guess it had been a long trip, and then this is more paper. That's cute. How to draw a cat. This looks like Shelley Allred's cat, Sugar. That's the stickers. So I've got 2 of these, and we will share that more later, but for now we'll just share some of the stickers from that. And then I also went to a kids store, and I found, this is the store, Kinder Bookwinkel, and I found this coloring book. Sorry, it wasn't quite on camera. I have to zoom out a little bit, I think, here. So I got this book. It's by, I found them on Instagram, Korea Chick. And I'd seen this book, I'd seen Zuvira Art show this book. It's quite a large book, actually, in terms of coloring books. Let's see. Oh, I think I need to zoom out more, maybe. Oh, no, I zoomed out there. There we go. Okay, so it's actually just about 12 inches by almost, it's like 8 3/4. Hi, Patsy. So I'll do a quick flip, and the paper's seems quite good. Let's see if I'm in frame here. So do a quick flip through. It's more kind of, it's perforated. It's kind of cute and cozy meets manga, I think. I like that one. Glasses. I think this is very reminiscent of my time in Amsterdam or in Netherlands. That's really cute. Oh, you're not streaming today, so I can go a little long? Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Noodles. So there's lots of pages in this book. I think, Shaz, you would like this page, hey? Look at that horse. If you're still here. Hi, Lydia. There's a nice autumn page with some like ghosty cats and some mushrooms and some pumpkins. A little witch lady here. Some hippie girls. Ooh, she's smizing. It's cute. So there's a lot of pages in this book. I almost wish it was smaller. This is like a lot of surface area to color. Bowling. Maybe for Halloween I'll do one of those. So these are her characters. Korea Chick, that's her. Mila, Emily, and Rick. This kind of reminds me of Archie comics. I used to love reading Archie comics. So it's obviously a Christmas page. So I can pull this out of Christmas, and that's it. So this is the only color, well, that's not true. I found this coloring book. I have one other coloring book that is more of like a coloring pamphlet, which we'll get to. And then we did a trip a full day trip to the Keukenhof, which is, so it was April, so all the tulips were in fine bloom. So I put aside some pictures to show you. So we went to the Jean's and bought a few things there. So let me go just zoom through some of these pictures first. So I put them in a notes app so I can just zoom through them. I did share some photos on my Instagram and Facebook. I tried to put different photos on each platform. So we went to see this, it's like a back to the oldie times, how, you know, they lived way back when. So the windmills, and then we went and saw how they made wooden shoes. And there's all sorts of wooden shoes. I thought that was a cute poster. So I'm just going to zoom through these pictures. And then I was seeing Miffy everywhere, and I'm like, why is there Miffy? I thought Miffy was Japanese, but apparently Miffy was created by someone from Netherlands. Like, look at how intricate, just amazing. Those are wedding clogs. And then some, you know, artistic variations, some roller skating clogs, very practical. And then there was a demo how they make them. So it's sort of automated, but this is like 1900s automation. So it was kind of cool. So he showed us how they made the clogs. It was pretty quick. He was modeling one of them. And then there was a store, so they had like all the different sizes up on the ceiling, on the wall. And then I only bought like a little magnet clog with the windmills and then some tulips coming out, it's in my kitchen. So there's me outside the clog house, Chance, wearing the big clogs. And then they also made cheese there, so I thought that was kind of cool. Here's me sitting with some cheese. And then I thought this was a cool picture. That's the cheese, and then that's the windmills. And then we're inside one of the windmills, and I noticed there's like all these pigments. I thought, oh, that's interesting. So it turns out they use these windmills to mill rocks to make pigments for art. Whoops. So the pigments are for sale at the desk. So I was like so excited when I saw that. So so they had like all different, I'll just zoom through, different colors. I didn't post any of these pictures on Instagram or Facebook. So all sorts of pigments. And then how they grind them in the, using the windmill, the wind power. And I don't know if they still do it now, but the grind chamber, to prevent undesired blending of colors during milling, the roller stones of color mills were encircled by wooden enclosures. These were named after the color in question. Whoops. The red chamber, yellow chamber, green chamber, etc. Hope you guys are finding this interesting. Did I try some on? I didn't try any clogs on, no. They didn't look that comfy to me, but I guess you wear them like really large. And then, so the company that sells these pigments is Vermeulen de Cat. So I bought some. There was sets of like 12 and 6, and I said, oh, maybe I'll just buy one. And my husband said, well, why don't you buy 2? And I said, oh, good idea. But if I'm going to buy 2, I might as well buy 3. So I can get the primary colors and I can make other colors. So he's like, you turn that around. So I bought ultramarine blue, magenta, and chalk yellow. So we're going to use those today. We're going to try to play with these on the gel plate today. So hopefully we'll get to that. So Vermeulen de Cat. And these are glass, so I had to like be careful when I pack these to come home. Gina says, I love seeing pigments in raw form. If I didn't have hundreds of paints, I would enjoy making my own. Maybe 4. Yeah, no, I think 3 was good. I think, and these 3 altogether cost 15 euros, which I thought was pretty good. And it came in a cute bag. This is like a very Holland type bag. Okay, and then we kept driving, and we could see the tulip fields. So that was pretty cool to see. This is just out the bus window. And then at the Keukenhof, which I don't have the spelling handy. Oh, before I forget, there's also recipes to make the paints. Oil paint, tempera paint, watercolor, and children's paint. I think I'm just gonna use matte medium. All right, so there's me. And then this bag here that I have, the zipper broke. And then we're in the gift shop at the Keukenhof. I saw this bag, which was a little bit bigger than the bag I had from Hawaii, which was like flowers on it. And it was a little bit bigger, which was great because my bag was feeling very full. So I bought this bag when I was at the Keukenhof. So that's my new summer bag / vacation bag. So I'm going to just zoom through these flower pictures because I did post some on Instagram and Facebook, but I took so many pictures, it was crazy. Hi, Melinda. Okay, so we're going to do lots of tulips here. Some close-ups. They were very beautiful. My husband didn't like these ones. He thought they looked wrinkled, but I thought they looked cool. All sorts of colors. And one random one, I thought that was kind of funny. Variations. That one's called Firecracker. Some are very tall. So the Keukenhof is only open for like 8 weeks. Is there an Anne Frank museum? Yes, we went to the Anne Frank Museum in Amsterdam. We bought tickets. I had to get up at 2 in the morning one night, like a week before we left, to get the tickets. And it was very interesting. I didn't take any pictures there inside. I just didn't feel, I don't know if we were allowed to for part of it. Look at that. But it was very, we had an audio tour of the Anne Frank house, so it was very interesting, very interesting. So more tulips, tulips, tulips. So many varieties of tulips. Are you guys finding this boring? I think these are even tulips. Look at that. Look at how interesting that is. And then I was just showing how some are really big. Like this one was pretty big. I think that's one of my favorite ones. I just love those colors. And then how there'd be like different color variations. So they had some structured gardens, and then I loved it when they had when it was like a mixed garden. So I think that was my favorite way that they had the tulips, just a bunch of colors all together. And then they had so that's that. I think that's the same bed. And then like a flowering tree, and it's quite a large garden. And then this is to show, I mean, I'm not very tall, but look at how tall these tulips are. So I'm about 5'2", so these tulips are probably like 3 feet tall. It was quite busy there. And then I like that too, the stripes, the different stripes all in a row. And then they had a greenhouse, so they did have some other flowers as well. So they had some lilies. I think those are lilies. And those were very large. There's my hand again. And then they had them mixed together. I think that's a tulip. That one's gorgeous. I think I put that picture on my Instagram. So I couldn't put all these pictures on my social media. It was just too many. It was hard to pick which ones to put in there. So many beautiful. And that's how you spell it, Keukenhof. Whoops, and there you can see my purse. So it was beautiful. We had a few hours there, just lots of free time. It was lovely. It was crowded, but not too crowded. Like I could get pictures without people in front of me, which was nice. See, a lot of pictures. I'm not going to show a bunch of pictures of everywhere I went. I just thought you guys would love to see all the different flowers. A cool statue. And then they had some areas like going up hills and stuff. And they had it combined with other flowers. I think those are, I don't know what those, I can't remember what those are, but they combined them with other flowers as well. And then they had some orchids inside the greenhouse. So look at that. Isn't that stunning? That's an orchid. And then they had some cat sculptures kind of in there. That was, I think I put this one on my Instagram. And this one was fun. All right. And then there's some Miffy. There was Miffies everywhere and I couldn't figure out why, but like I said, that's why. And then on the bus, like just more tulip fields. I guess what they do though is they grow them and then they cut the heads off and then they harvest the bulbs to sell the bulbs and use the heads in like the parades and stuff that they do. Tons of bikes everywhere. This lady had her dog in a bike. Yeah, so those are some pictures. I'm gonna have a little sip of water. My throat's getting, Oh, Kathy, I'm glad you enjoyed that. And then I bought some socks. These weren't from the museum, but I don't know where we bought those, but that was fun. I think it was at Zanch. And then, oh, I forgot. I also have a little tin like this that I bought at the Van Gogh Museum that has the sunflowers on it. And I used it for like, you know, you want to have like some medication with you when you're traveling, like some aspirin, like not aspirin, but some Tylenol and some stuff for your tummy and things like that. So that's actually in my purse currently. And then I bought this Miffy tin at the airport. It's just got mints in it. And I thought it was really cute because that's Miffy, the cows, the windmill. So I think what I'll do is once I get eat the mints, I might make this into like a mini palette. Mini travel palette. And then just that, like Japan, like they have the cutest little bags and they package everything so nice. So this was the little magnet that I bought with the shoes, the clogs. Isn't that a cute bag? How cute is that? Okay. And then, oh, I also bought some so that's my Kuchenhof bag. And then I also bought some postcards. So this is my Amsterdam postcard that I bought. This was just a free postcard that was, I don't know, just somewhere. There was an exhibit. I didn't see it. And then this one I bought at the airport. So those are cool. And this, I don't remember where I bought that. I can't remember where that was, but it was in Netherlands. Octavie Wolters. I don't know. I think that's their name. I can't remember where I bought that, but I thought that was cool. And then I want to show you guys this map of the Kuchenhof. So basically, I think this would be a cool journal, way to do a journal. So it opens like that. It's kind of like, isn't that cool? Whoop. So that's how big the gardens were. We got to most of it. I don't think we went over here quite so much. Kuchenhof. That's the back. I don't know if the back has anything. Yeah, so I thought that was a cool little way to have a map. It's not magnetic or anything, but it just folds up really nice. So cardstock and then some folding. Windmill, yeah. Lots of brain farts. Lots of brain farts. Okay. Now, next we went to Morocco. I didn't really buy any art in Morocco, but I did buy this little fridge magnet. I don't have a fridge that uses magnets, but I love this little door. Isn't that cute? I thought that would be cool, like on a journal. A little door. It was like €2 or $1.50 or something. Yes, it's a cool fold. Then we went to the Canary Islands. I didn't have a lot of shopping time in the Canary Islands, but I did manage in Lanzarote. All the houses in Lanzarote, or most of the houses, were white, and that was due to this fellow here, Cesar Manrique. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Cesar Manrique, who's an artist, and I don't know, but he was responsible for preserving, making sure that people didn't build too high. And we went to a park in Lanzarote. It was like Devil something. So that's a cool little bag from there. But I bought this coloring book. So what I thought was cool is it had his artwork and then a coloring page. So I'm not going to color in this. I think what I'll do is I will photocopy the coloring parts so that I can keep the actual artwork safe. But it's, I did look him up. I don't remember the details. But if you want to look him up, his name is Cesar Manrique. Yes, Jane, I've been to the Butchart Gardens. They are very beautiful, and it was very reminiscent of that. Okay, I'm noticing that I'm kind of off camera. I'll have to go back and forth. So that's the art. That's the coloring page. Isn't that cool? So there's lots of volcanoes, and then these little, oh shoot, what were they called? I'll have to pull up my Instagram and my Facebook. It said camels. They had these little structures that they would plant their vineyards in because the volcanic soil and the wind. So they had these little, I can't remember. I'll have to look up on Instagram. I answered someone's question about it, but that's really cool. I like that. This is the cover. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. So I was happy to find like a little bit of art on one of the islands that was, you know, special for that island. I really like this style. I think it's really cool. And then there's the back. So I will pull up my Instagram and maybe my Facebook when we're done looking at all this stuff. And then I had a cool, in the KLM, there's a cool magazine, which I thought had some neat stuff. It was actually in English, so that was good. They did have it in other languages. I should have grabbed one that was in Dutch, but I did not. So it's fun to see other magazines. So this would be fun to, you know, tear up for collage. So it's not just about Amsterdam. It's like this Montreal, and it's a travel magazine. And then this also was in the KLM lounge. They had this, I don't know, is that? No, this was not in the KLM lounge. This is a magazine. This is just a cruising magazine. I had another magazine, but I think I left it downstairs. Okay. I'll just show you a bit of the artwork I did while on vacation, and then I'll show you my, if you haven't seen my Instagram and my Facebook. So I have this little coloring book, Cute and Cozy by Zenny Abanales, and it was a great size to bring on vacation. And I bought some double tip markers and some, not alcohol markers, just fine tip, brush tip water markers. And I basically used watercolor. This doesn't have any colored pencils on it. I think I posted that. This one I didn't post. I know this isn't everybody's vibe, but I find it very relaxing. And again, this is just the markers, water brush, and maybe like a white gel pen. And then this one too, same thing, just a water brush and markers. Oh, and the background I did with some acrylic markers I'd bought at the Dollar Tree before I left on Coloring Views recommendation. So I can show you guys that. So for traveling, I didn't want to bring some expensive supplies, and I didn't know what I was going to buy at the art store. I knew I was going to the art store. So it was fun just to, you know, have some cheap supplies with me. Oh, also Portugal. I didn't buy any artwork in Portugal. I did find this, they're known for their cork and also for blue tiles as well. So I bought this little fish, and for their fish industry. So I bought this bookmark. Let's do my sketchbook. Okay, I think we're doing okay for time. So this is some of the stuff that I worked on while I'm away. Most of this you saw. Oh, thanks, Melinda. This is falling off. So this is a little collage I did using some napkins that I had. I thought it made a good little travel page, title page. I'm just gonna wait for the camera to see if I'm centered. Okay, sorry, there's quite a lag. I think I can maybe move over. It's pretty centered. Maybe bring it back a bit. Okay, and then this was from the Pablo pencil case. It was like there's a sticker in it, so then I just drew like a green line. That's a sticker from one of our excursions, and I don't remember where that's from. A Zentangle that I did, and I used some of the felt tip markers to do kind of like I used just the green, red, and blue to make sort of like a chromatic aberration kind of look. And then this was from a picture I took in Morocco at the Medina, which is basically like an old style historical town area, like how they used to live. And it was very beautiful. So I did that on the ship on one of the sea days using just a micron, like a micron pen. Not this one, but one like this. So I sketched it in pencil, then I went over some of the lines with my micron pen, erased my pencil, and then watercolored, and then added a bit more inking. This was a Zen doodle. You know what? I didn't write who this was inspired by. It was inspired by Janet Young and also someone else, which I wrote in my Instagram post. So I'll look at that in a second. So I posted that. And then this one, I just had some different watercolor. I had different, so I used my felt tip markers, but I used some watercolors I had different blues. And then I used this pen. So this pen here is a Pentel Crazy Pop. So it's blue, but it has a gold aspect to it. So if you're writing on dark color, it looks gold. But if you're writing on white, it looks blue. So see, I don't know if you can see that here. It looks more blue, but here it looks more gold. I don't know if you can see that. I tried to post it so you could see the different colors. So I just kind of brushed the color on and then just doodled. I didn't really have a plan. Some of this is the markers that the acrylic markers I bought at the Dollar Tree. So that was very relaxing. Hi, Ambient. And then this was in Portugal. So we only had like hours to spend in town. We did a walking tour actually on this one, and then we did a tour in what's that called? It's like a little motorized tuk-tuk. in a tuk-tuk we did a tour, but this was part of the walking tour. So I just used the picture that I took to do this once I got back to the ship. And that's all I did in my sketchbook. And I'd also started this page in my Lulu Mayo book when I was on the ship, and I finished it when I got home. So that's watercolor base and then colored pencils. So I was pretty happy with that. Let me go off of, just gonna go out of the YouTube for a second. So I won't be able to read chat. I'm just gonna show you my Instagram, some of the pictures that I didn't get a chance to show you. So this was in Amsterdam. It was like a shop window. I have more Amsterdam pictures on my Facebook, so I'll show that. And then this is some of my Morocco pictures, in case you don't follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I came around the corner from the bathroom and there was all these cats sitting there, and they didn't look very well fed. And that was the one that I had done the watercolor of. So lots of interesting colors and textures and smells. I'll show you my Facebook one as well, but oh yeah, so this one inspired by Doodling for Joy and Janet M. Young. So Doodling for Joy. And then this was in Portugal. So this was the walking tour and the tuk-tuk tour. So just various pictures. You can see there's a lady out here on the ledge hanging her laundry. I have a big bridge. Actually, our ship went under this bridge. So this picture was taken from our cruise ship. During our dinner, we went out and took a picture. They have this music called fado music, which is kind of sad, melancholic music that they're famous for. And this was some tile work on one of the buildings. Beautiful architecture, very hilly. Lisbon's super hilly. And there's a castle. We didn't go to the castle, but we walked almost to the top. Like we walked up. This was from our tuk-tuk tour, but when we walked kind of up in this older area. Okay. I sure hope I'm not boring anybody. And then this was pictures in Dover, England. So the White Cliffs of Dover. This is a scene from our cruise ship. That's Leeds Castle. Leeds Castle from the backside. This is in Canterbury, sort of like Shakespeare era houses. This is Canterbury Cathedral. We didn't go in it, we just took a picture from the outside. This is Dover Castle, which is very picturesque. And then I thought this was fun, going back to the cruise ship, there was like some telephone booths here. So I thought that made a fun picture. Now I'll just quickly show you my Facebook posts so that you can see all the other pictures. I mean, I'm not going to, you guys don't want to see all my pictures. I thought you'd like to see the tulip garden and the windmills, but I thought I'll just show you the pictures that I already shared, but like I said. So this was in Amsterdam. So, you know, lots of canals, lots of bikes, cool houses, the Van Gogh Museum, the clog making. I think I showed you guys all these pictures already, actually. So that was some Amsterdam pictures on my Facebook. Let's see, and then this is Morocco, Agadir, Morocco. Oops. So, you know, camel, kind of deserty. This was it's kind of like a structure at the top of this mountain. This was in one of the big markets. It was like the smells were really lovely. My husband bought a knockoff Moroccan soccer jersey at the market. This is at the Medina, so lots of cool tile work. This is a view from above on that sort of castle. This is me at the Medina. Let's see. And then this is Lanzarote. That was the one that I was talking about, these little structures, which someone asked me, and I'll go read my answer. So all the buildings were white, except for a few that were grandfathered in. Very volcanic, lots of volcanic kind of Marsy sort of atmosphere. If I go to my comments there, Shelley asked me something. Oh, no. I can't remember. And then I showed that. And then this was on Tenerife. They have a huge 3,715 meter mountain called Mount Tied, and it's volcanic. There's some observatories there. So you couldn't see from the ship. Let me go here. I think I showed it. From the ship, you thought, oh, well, it's going to be a crappy day for sightseeing. But we actually, in the bus, drove us above these clouds. So this is going through the cloud layer. And then this is above the cloud layer. And there's all these, like, you know, very lunar kind of surfaces. And this big rock structure, there's people rock climbing on there. So it was very picturesque. It was very gorgeous. Kind of cool. And then here's some more pictures in Portugal, Lisbon. So this one I just posted a lot of door pictures. I love doors. And we had some ginja, which is like a cherry liqueur, usually served in a chocolate cup. So we had some of that. We had like that blue tile. This is a circus school, actually, or it was. And lots of the rooftops, all the clay tile rooftops. And then this is in the newer area on the tuk-tuk tour. So, oh, and then some more pictures from Dover, England. Again, here I tried to post different pictures on Facebook versus Instagram for people that follow me on both, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Sometimes it was duplicates, but I just, we don't have old things like this where I live. So it's very interesting to me to see old architecture and, yeah. That's a library, I think. That's a weird. Okay, so let me go back to my YouTubes, see what you guys are saying, see what I missed. Hi, Utah. Hi, Judy O. Hi, Belinda. Beautiful tile patterns. Yes, it was a great trip. And Kathy's a door lover too. I'm a sucker for some doors. All right, so that is most of the sharing from the trip. I had just a couple more things, then we'll play and do some giveaways. I got some Happy Mail. So this was from Dee Dee. I won the coloring bookmarks. She sent me a nice little note, like a little card. And then some bookmarks for me to color. And then this one was colored by her grandson, Cam. So thank you, Dee Dee, for that giveaway. And then I got this beautiful card from Teresa Peterman. So she does lots of, I don't know how she made that. So it's like on vellum or something. So she does lovely cards. And then before I left, I had completed this page in Rooms of Wonder. I'd done a buddy color with my sister. I don't remember if I showed this. So that's the, I used the King Art gel sticks for the basing of a lot of this. You can see some of them are sort of iridescent. And then I used colored pencils on top and markers fine tip markers, I think. Oh, you probably, you know what? I think I was zoomed in too much. Maybe not. Let me zoom out a little bit. So this is the only Joanna Bass fruit book that I have. And then this is from Dee Dee. I won this. I don't know if I showed this. She sent me, no, I didn't win it. She just sent it to me because it reminded her of my sister and I doing our aquafit, which we're going to do tomorrow. And then I'm going to use this to make my sister a birthday card. Don't tell her. Shh, secret. And while I was away, this copy of Emily Leda Hall Oberg's coloring book arrived while I was gone. And I am participating in Piggy Pen's full book collab. I wish I had signed up for part 1. I didn't realize that it's the whole book twice. I just thought, oh, I'm going to be tired and busy when I get back. I won't want to do it. So I know that I've got assigned something in the mermaid section, but I don't know what yet. So my section, I'm in part 2 of the collab, so it won't be until I think August or something. So that is that. We put these things aside. And then I also got a used copy of a Game of Thrones book that my sister picked up for me at that I got on Facebook Marketplace, and she picked it up for me while I was just before I left. So let's see. Maybe keep that one. I'm just getting the giveaway ready, and then we'll start doing some arting. I think I'll do this in 4 pieces. So I hope you guys don't find that a chintzy giveaway. I didn't do a lot of shopping. I bought a sweatshirt in Lisbon. I was sort of manifesting I wanted a new sweatshirt. And I also bought a ball cap in, I think, Tenerife. Let's see, this one's bigger. Let's put that with that one. Oh, wait. 1, 2. Oh, I need to cut one of these. To cut. I thought I had, oh, I do have 4 pieces. We'll cut it anyhow. I'll do that. And then I'll take the backings off these napkins. 3, 4. Oh yeah, we have these to share as well. I think I want to give people a variety. So let's do this. Let's do 1, 2. You know what? We'll do 4 of these. So everybody gets just a little something from my trip. Now, can we do 3? Yeah, we can do 3, 3, 3. We'll do that. Make sure there's no repeats. Okay, and then we can separate these into 4, right? Let's see. I feel like I should do that because that's more famous. 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then this one's just kind of weird, so we won't do that one. We'll do that. Okay, so that will be the giveaway. 1, 2, 3. Those round stickers remind you of the planets that Dee Dee would use for collage. Okay, so that's going to be our giveaway. Let's do the giveaway while something's drying. So I'm just going to put those, I'll do this. Do that, put that underneath. So we'll do 4 giveaways, and it doesn't have to be Canada only or US only. It's just whatever. And we'll just do random. What you get will be random. Hopefully they're even enough. Okay. So let me just put these aside for now. We'll pull out the gel plate and do some gel printing with those pigments. I don't really know. I have an idea of different things to try, so we'll see. All right, remind me to do the giveaway near the end, or while things are drying. Let me just grab another tissue. A yellow watermelon. That's interesting. Okay, let's grab out, let's do 8 by 10 gel plate. Let's do this one. I thought what I could do to start is just use maybe some matte medium and then sprinkle some of the powder, the pigments, and then, you know, just see how they mix, right? We could do pink, blue, yellow, and then pink again, and then see how they mix together. Let's put this underneath. So I thought what I could try first is just put some matte medium down on the plate. Hey, Lena, good to see you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Okay, so we're gonna use some matte medium, and then I'll just sprinkle those, and then we'll brayer them and then try to pick it up and see what it does. So I'll use this matte medium because it's fairly watery, so it'll stay wet long enough. Let me grab some paper. And we'll just play around. Ooh. So Lena, I'm sure you've been to the Netherlands quite a few times. Oops, sorry. Sorry, people. I hit that. Have you ever bought these Verfmolen de Cat pigments? Okay, let's grab, I need a brayer off sheet. And a brayer. Let's use this one. Thanks, Judy. I mean, I've got tons of photos that, you know, maybe one day I'll like print out a few and show you guys a few more of the other places like Morocco and Portugal. I just didn't want to bore you guys too much, but I thought you guys would like all the flower pictures, you know? Okay, so let's just, I probably should open these first. Lena says no, but she tried Talons and Cobra and has never disappointed. I know Zandra makes, uses the Jane Davenport, but I don't even know how much to use. She uses the Jane Davenport pigments to make watercolors. Oh yeah, I'm sure you've been to Amsterdam and Rotterdam, so we're going to overlap a little bit. This is the yellow. I'm just going to keep them separate. Hopefully I won't spill them. But I don't want to use the same, scooper for each. Okay, and then let's repeat the blue over here. This might not be enough pigment, but it's a good place to start. All right, let's go. Let's start here. Doesn't look very pigmented. I think I need more. I think I'll need more of that pink. The blue is kind of cool. Whoops. I like how it's kind of splotchy. Let's add some more pink here. And then let's add a bit more yellow. Maybe I just don't see the yellow because my plate's yellow. That could be it. I should probably wipe that off, but okay, let's just put that down and see what happens. That was the first time I've ever used those pigments. Okay, let's let that dry. Let's do another one using more like water, perhaps. Let's use a 5x7. What if we... Let's use some water spray. We'll just pick it up kind of like smack and drag style. Let's see the pink. Let's spread that around with the brush. Let's put a little bit of yellow. A little bit of blue. Do a little bit more yellow. And a little bit more pink. Just see if we get some sort of splotchiness. Oops. And then I'll just use like a thicker paper. And we'll do kind of like the Robin McClendon where you just kind of like touch it down. I'll use cardstock instead of, I won't use the watercolor paper, I'll just use a bit of cardstock. We'll just do a kiss. Let's see what that does. So this you wouldn't need a gel plate to do, you just kind of, okay, that's very subtle. that way. More like a smack and drag, hey? Don't want to get too muddy. Maybe we can make it more like a landscape. Okay, it's very bright there. I like that. So just to make, you could do like smack and drag to make tags. You can see it kind of reacting there. That could be like a world. Okay. The other thing, I thought we could use maybe some iridescent medium and mix it. Let's see. Hi, Carla. All right, this looks ready. So we'll mix on here and then we'll paint it onto this and see how it looks. So this was just with the matte medium and the pigment. Now, I don't know that, I think if I sprayed where there's a lot of pigment, it would move. Let's just try that. I need a, okay, let's just use a little bit of water and see. Just curious if it moves. No, it's not really moving because the matte medium, I guess, fixed it. I thought maybe there was a bit more. Kind of reminds me of like a snowstorm in a way. See, the edge one is moving, but this one here is not moving. That kind of looks like an abstract landscape. Like you could add to it with some charcoal and stuff. Okay, let's do some mixing. Just gonna take that. Let's see if we can make some other colors, like some specific colors. So I'm just gonna put a bit of iridescent medium. Let's do 3. Let's do 6. Let's do some blue. And then we'll do some blue and yellow and some blue and pink. Okay. Here, let's do some yellow, some blue and yellow. Some pink, some blue and pink, and let's do some pink. Whoops, we'll do, well, I'll try to, I was going to do pink and yellow here, and then I spilled a whole bunch. I feel like a bad scientist. Okay. All right, now let's get another little, let's mix them up. So this one I'm going to try to just keep yellow. Okay. Do you guys want me to paint it on water, or? You know what we'll do is I'll paint it on here and we'll do like an impressionistic style painting. So let me just get a paintbrush because it's going to start drying. So I'll just do random, so some yellow. And once it dries, we can pick it up. So we're inspired by Vincent. So here's our yellow iridescent. Okay, let's do yellow and blue since I have yellow on here. I'm hoping it's going to make a green. Trying to avoid that pink there. It's not quite green. I think we need more yellow. Art and science should get married. Well, a lot of the great artists were scientists as well, right? Like look at Da Vinci. This is a very muddy green. It's almost like a gray. I think I have too much blue in there. Let's take a little bit of that and mix it over here to see if we can get a brighter green. Not really. Okay, let's take that and we'll just paint it around. So I'm trying not to make it too thick so that it dries, but we'll do our giveaway while this one's drying. Okay, let's rinse that. Let's wipe this off. Can move this over a little bit. All right, next, let's do pink and yellow. So theoretically, this should make us an orange. But we're getting more of a light pink. I think the that yellow is not a very strong yellow, perhaps. But that's okay. Okay, this is pink and yellow. And I feel like we should pick this up with matte medium on black paper. I think that will show better. I'm trying to go in the spaces, but there's going to be some overlap. This is a good way to get back to arting. You know, when you're on vacation, and it was fun having limited supplies, and then you get home and you just kind of overwhelmed by all the extras. Okay, let's do the, let's do the pink by itself. Does anybody feel like that when they get back from vacation? You kind of feel overwhelmed by, well, first you got to do all your laundry, you got to clean the house, which I haven't cleaned the house yet. We cleaned outside because we could open up for spring. So I don't know if this one's going to look much different than the pink and blue one. I'll have to play with this, see if I can get a better green, you know. I thought I was being so smart, getting the primary-ish. I didn't want a warm red because I know it's hard to make purple with the warm red. That's why I got the magenta. I thought I'd get some nicer purples. But we'll see, won't we? Okay. This is a field of tulips. Oopsie. I need a vacation from vacation. Oh, bonjour, Simone. Ça va bien? Okay, let's do blue and pink. That blue is really strong. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to add more of this iridescent. And this is just the cheap iridescent from Walmart. Royal Langnickel. Let's add a bit more pink. On joue avec des pigments, Simone. There, that's more purple. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Okay. I want to keep more of the purple and blue at the top, but this feels a little, it does feel like a field of tulips, doesn't it? Okay, then we just have the blue, ultramarine blue. I don't know, I don't have much in there, but as we found, that blue is very strong. Seems to be the strongest. Okay, so we could pick it up with matte medium on black paper, or we could just pick it up with black paint. Maybe we'll do that. We'll just pick up with black paint once it's dry. Okay, since it's iridescent, let's grab this here. But you know the saying about oh, what's the saying? Great minds think alike, and fools seldom differ. That's what my dad used to say. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. So it's a very pretty blue. I love that blue. It'll be interesting to see how it shows up on the black paper. So this is one reason why I use pan pastel so much, because now we have to wait for this to dry. But I think it's kind of a fun little experiment. Well, I think we'll have time to do our giveaway and then pull this. I'll put a little bit of blue down here at the bottom too. The bottom's not looking as interesting to me as the top. Okay. It's pretty crunchy. All right, there we go. So let that dry. I'm going to put these lids on so that I don't spill them. So that's my Verfmolen Decat pigments. Okay, so let's let this one dry. This one, I could probably pick it up with black right now, actually. Let's do that, and then we'll do our giveaway. Let's get some black paint. Oh, there's some raw pigment there, but we'll see what happens. I don't think it'll do much with the black. This one's almost done. Ooh. So I didn't buy a lot of art supplies because I had to think about, you know, packing and oops, luggage space. But I was happy with what I got. I thought it was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing my haul. Hope you will enjoy the giveaway, which we'll do shortly here. Okay. I know it's, now that I'm back, I won't be, I'll be keeping my same schedule where I stream every other week, alternating with Anne Lar, so check her out. Thank you if you visited her while I was gone. Thank you for that. I usually try to go over to her chat, but sometimes I'm doing other stuff, which is one of the reasons why I'm not streaming every week. Okay, so I let that dry. So that was our first experiment with just the matte medium. And then this was just the pigment with water. And then we'll pull this in a minute. That's the pigment with the iridescent. So let's put this over here and let's get out our giveaway stuff. So we're going to do numbers 1 to 100. I'm going to tape go, so don't enter your number yet. You have to be willing to share your address with me, either on Instagram, Facebook, or if I don't follow you there or you don't follow me, I can put in my email address. So for the Amsterdam napkins, I'll remove the layers of napkins so it's not so thick. Okay. All right, so don't erase any numbers. No numbers after I type stop will count. Try to be in all chat. I'll use a random number generator. The first 4 numbers without going over will win the giveaways. Yes, Kathy, I see you at Anne's sometimes. All right, so I'm going to type go, go, go. Whoops, G, I wrote G, go. Go, go, go. And then you never know after, sometimes when I'm getting the mail ready, sometimes I'll throw a few extra things in there. So you never really know. So go ahead, put your numbers in. And then, so you can be in Canada, you can be in the States, you can be wherever. And we will do a happy mail, some happy mail. All right, I should get some envelopes out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully they will fit. I'll make them fit. 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to randomly do it. I don't really remember what's in what here, so a little drink of water where you guys are putting in your numbers. Let's see. Here, I'm just pulling this plate right now. So it's going to look something like that. So, I mean, really it's not different than using, like, you know, your metallics or your iridescent colors. Like I have paints. It just was fun. Or like the metallic sheen. It was just fun to make my own, you know, make my own. Okay, so we're slowing down here yet. Almost. Had my nails done while I was on the ship and my toenails. So I got the gel shellac. So it's not acrylic nails. Ooh, get some pigment on our giveaways. So it's not the acrylic nails, and it's supposed to be, I'm getting them redone on Monday, so we'll see if I could, you know, maybe have nicer nails. That would be a good thing. Okay, I think we're slowing down here. So we're going to pull. That's okay, Judy. If there's double numbers, you could still both win if the numbers are close, because we're doing more than one giveaway. So maybe what I'll do is I'll pull a number, and we'll do the two closest, and then I'll pull another number, and then we'll do the second two closest, just so that a wide range of people have a chance. No, you don't have to change, Patty. You just you stay with your number. Stay with your number. You might still win. Okay, let's get random.org. Oh, Ellen got in there. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to press stop. So no numbers after the stop count, just to make it fair. No changing numbers. Okay, so the first two closest to, I'm just going to get my random.org here. I've got my husband's iPad, so I just need to go to internet, random number generator. Okay, let me just go out of that. Okay, so random number between 1 and 100. So the first two closest to, that doesn't count, that was already there. First two closest to 62 without going over, and then I'll pull another number, and then you don't have to do new numbers, but I'll pull another number and we'll do that. So the first two closest to 62 without getting over. Oh, you're not being a troublemaker, Patty. Okay, so first two closest to 62 without going over. I see Lena has 57 and Sherry has 58. I think, is that right, Dar? I have Lena with 57. I get to mail you something, Lena. That's exciting. And Sherry has 58. So I think those are our first two winners. And I have both of their addresses. Lena and Sherry. Whoops. Is that right? Lena and Sherry, yes. Excellent. And Sherry, I assume your address hasn't changed yet, right? She hasn't changed. Okay, and then the next two closest to the new number of, okay, I'm not doing 63 because it's going to be the same winners. Let's do another one. Generate, oh, first two closest to 99 without going over. So who are the two highest numbers? I see Christina has 80. That seems pretty high. And Gina has 78. That seems pretty high as well. Is that correct? Christina, I know I have your address. 331. It's 80. Is that right, Dar? Oh, Missy has 81. So sorry, Gina. Christina and I didn't see Missy. Missy. I don't see Missy. Oh, there we go, 81. Okay, and Missy. And Missy, I believe I have your address as well. So Christina, Missy, Lena, and Sherry. Excellent. All right. I'm not the fastest with the Happy Mail, so please be patient. These definitely won't get mailed out until next week. But I hope you guys enjoyed that little giveaway. Let's pull this print. All right. Sorry about that, Gina. Okay, let's get black, and that other one was empty. Let's use this one, and we'll use some paper. Okay, so some of these aren't totally dry, but we might end up with little white spots in the paper. Because if it's not dry, it won't really attach to the other paint, so we might have some missing areas, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Okay, it's the little chunky monkey. All right. See here, it's kind of squished. All right, let's put that on. Okay, so we have 15 minutes left. That's lots of time for this to dry. Just give that a really good rub. So I'll have to research what else I can do with my pigments. I don't think I'm crazy about making watercolor. Like the recipe for watercolor seemed pretty involved. Like it's like, I'm not going to make oil paint, that's for sure. But it's like pigment, 100 gram gum arabic in a nylon stocking, 800 milliliters of water, 1 teaspoon sodium benzoate, 80 milliliter clear honey, a pipette, a palette, and this optional gum tragacanth. So that, I don't know, that's too much work. That's too much work for me. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to use fat milk. And I'm not going to use egg yolk. So what we could do is we could just mix it with water and paint it somewhere. Let's see. Do I have a little piece of watercolor paper handy dandy? Let me go grab a little piece. I don't see why we can't use it without a binder. Here, let's use it in my Canson watercolor journal. This is, I just kind of do abstract pieces in here and then I doodle. That's my Gansai Tambi graphite colors. This was the Gansai Tambi, I don't know which set. This is the Art Nouveau set. That's probably the Art Nouveau set. That's a Janet M. Young inspired piece. That's the Art Nouveau set as well. This was inspired by Janet Young and Isolo Design. Some doodles. This was, I was playing with my new big watercolor brushes and the granulating, oh no, Marsha's watercolor. Did you guys know that oh, this is a piece that Janet sent me. I still have to work on it. That Gansai Tambi, I have 2 of their granulating sets. They have a 3rd set that just came out. I can't get it yet. It's not available. I should get a little palette thingy majiggy to mix those. Let's see. I must have some plastic palettes somewhere. Sorry, it's so crunchy here. I've got this palette, but it's very dirty. No, let's not do that. Let's use, I need something clean. Making a mess. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted. There, I've got a clean little. This will be good. So I'll put a little bit of each pigment. We'll try to mix up some colors and just do some watercolor while that is drying. Let me grab a watercolor brush. Use this one. I haven't used this quill brush yet. I don't have the cleanest water. Let me go get some clean water. This water's been sitting here for a while. So I've been into doing coloring book pages a lot lately. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. But is that something anybody would want to see me do on a live stream? I don't know. Maybe on a separate, like an extra day or something. Okay, let's do a little bit of blue. So in just the blue, we'll do, ooh, I'm spreading that on there. Let me just move this out of the way because it's, I think the static electricity, ooh. And it's on here. Oh, these I had done, I haven't doodled on yet. Okay, I'll have to clean that off. Hi, Cal. Okay, so let's just do it on here. So a little bit of blue and then just a smidge here to mix with the yellow. And a smidge here to mix with the pink, because that blue seems really strong. Okay. Laverne would like to see me color. Okay. And I definitely don't want to contaminate. This was the yellow. So we'll do yellow and blue, yellow and pink, and then yellow by itself. Okay. Lucretia would enjoy it. And then some pink. So we'll do pink and blue, pink by itself, and just a little bit of pink with that yellow, because that yellow is not super strong. A little bit of pink there. See if we can get like an orange. Lena says she would enjoy watercoloring. Not watercoloring, coloring. Okay, let's get some water. I should have a pipette or something. Do I have a pipette? I know I have one, but I don't know where I put it. No. Aha. Just some water. There, I've got a pipette. Okay, do some water. This is the green, hopefully. This is the purple. This should be pink. Not sure if that's enough water, but okay, let's see if I mix it. Okay, now this has, I did get some of the blue pigment on there, but let's see. Let's start with the yellow. I probably should have mixed it with something else, but it's a little chunky. So I don't really have like something in mind, just gonna kind of do some abstract-y stuff. Let's do pink and the yellow. I think we need to add more pink to that. Uh-oh. Oh no, some blue got in there. Oh no, that blue is so strong. Blue contamination. There. I picked it up and I picked up most of the yellow, the paint with it. Let's just see, let's just add a little bit of pink to here. Let's grab some from here. Maybe there's some pink left on there. Not very orangey. But I mean, it didn't help that I spilled half of it. More like a peach color. Okay. Let's do, this is just the straight pink. Let's do, let's do a little spray. It's always fun just plopping down color and then doodling. That's how I did that blue piece, was just playing, and then you just add doodles after. Okay, let's see if we get a green. The gray brick background, that's hard to say, would make a great graffiti board. Abstract lettering, flowers, words about art. Cool. All right, here's our green. Need a little bit more blue. Let's see if I can get some of this blue. Let's just grab it. Okay. I do like, this looks more of a dirty yellow. But that's okay. Got dirty yellow with some pink rolling into it. Put a bit more pink in there. I do love how watercolor is so dynamic, you know? Look at that, that's kind of neat. Okay, let's do this blue. I think that's going to be super strong. Let's make it like a sky. Maybe these are like abstract tulip fields, you know? So again, this is just no binder, just the pigment. Make some little clouds. Oops. Very nice and soft. All right, let's see if our purples. Yeah, it's pretty purpley. I feel like splattering though. I don't know if it's gonna. Ooh. It's more like a magenta. And it's okay to have white space. But I'm not keeping any white space here, it seems. Okay. A little bit more. Splatter some blue. Cool. I like it. Very simple. I'm always tempted to put something that's more less random, but I think we'll leave it like that. I can just blot these little spots in the sky. Okay. What do you guys think? Could definitely add more, but I do like to leave room for the doodles, so we'll call that Jans Chance Pigment Watercolor. And then I can doodle on it with some black, I think. Maybe put like a little windmill in the distance. But we're gonna let that dry. You have to let it dry before you doodle. So our pull should be ready. And then we'll end the stream. Carol's not on today, but so I went a little bit over, but not a lot over. You love the soft blue sky? Thanks, Lena. Okay, let's pull it. So this is our abstract iridescent tulip field at night. And that's with our pigments and the iridescent medium. I mean, I could have done that with just iridescent paints, but this was fun. So here we go. I don't know if you can see that. The blue, the purple, the pink, the green. It does look a bit greenish. One of my hairs is stuck in there, of course. Yellow, and then the orangey one. Where's the orangey? This is sort of the orangey one here. It's kind of orangey. So we've got our pigments, some pigment play, 3 different styles. That might make a good screenshot. If I do that, zoom out a little bit. So I won't be back next week, but and Laura will be, and yeah, so it's fun to kind of do like a tulipy, well, it's not really tulipy, but our abstract tulips. And those would be cut up. That'd make a nice little car with a picture of a tulip on it, perhaps. This I could see like adding paint to it to do like an abstract landscape. But anywho, that's enough from me. I hope you guys have a great week, and happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. And I'm glad we got a little bit of play, a little bit of show, a little bit of share, and it's fun being back. I really like hanging out with you guys, and I hope you had fun too. Thanks for coming. Please like, subscribe, hit your notifications, and all that awesome sauce. Okie dokie. Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay, I have to take this off as usual. Boop. Bye, guys.